Okay, let's see when we come up on Facebook. There we go. We're coming up. I think we're on Facebook now. Yes, we are. Hello, everybody. How are you? Guess what? It's another one of those Mondays, and it's another one of our pop-up shows, and we're really happy that you're here and that you're joining us because this is a show we really like, and it's a bunch of nice people all being nice with each other. Can you believe? Let me just oh boy, here we more even more people are joining us. Let's do it all at once here. There we go. There we go. We got Marjorie and we got Scott Boddicker and we have Paula Levin.
Boy.
Yeah. Charlene Solis, Andrew Deutsch, Francine Witt, Len LaFrisco, Mike Chisholm. Let's see here. Mandy O'Brien is joining us, and of course, the ever popular, well known Edward Berger.
That's right.
That's right. Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you? Happy Monday to all of you.
Yeah.
Anybody do anything exciting over the weekend? We took time to bask in our air conditioning.
Really? Is it warm?
Humid.
It got warm in here, didn't it, Marjorie?
Yeah.
But then when I turn on the air conditioning, the trouble is it's over by her side of the bed, the window. And so therefore she freezes to death. So she has to put on her winter clothing while she's sleeping. So, you know. Look what I got. Look what little present I have here. Look at this. There we go. Wait a minute. There it is.
What? Was somebody? You were in the hospital.
Well, I was at a hospital. I was getting my every 6-month checkup for my leukemia. And they give you one of these, just like when you're in the hospital. Well, you are in the hospital, but they don't want to lose you anymore. They're afraid of that, you know? So they're crazy when that goes on. But now I can't get this thing off. Marjorie was going to take it off for me. She loves it.
After.
Yeah, you have a pair of scissors and you do it with. Anyway, they always put this on me, so I wear it for a while. It makes me feel fun. Anyway,
are you well?
am I what?
Are you well, or did they?
Well, according to my doctor, well, what did he say? I'm fine.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, as fine as I can be. You know, he said, "Oh, your white blood count went up a couple of points." He says it has to get 20 times higher than this for it to suddenly be something we have to treat.
Yeah.
He said, "You're fine. You know, you don't have anything really wrong with you." I asked, I've been taking these B12 pills because I wanted to see if it would lower my platelet. Instead, my platelet, or raise my platelet rather. Instead, my platelets got lowered a little. And I said to him, I said, does B12 work? He says, no. He says, you have B12 naturally, excuse me, naturally in your system. So, you know, if that isn't doing it for you, then okay, it's not doing it for you. But don't worry about it. He said, all your numbers, you know, if other doctors saw these numbers, they go, oh my God, this is off and that is off. And he goes, nothing to worry about, you know. And then we talked for 20 minutes on how much he hated Trump, which was a great time to spend at the doctor, you know. Marjorie feels he's my nicest doctor, right?
Yeah.
You've never, I think once you met my urologist. He's pretty good too. I like him. I like him. What makes a doctor a good doctor to you people? Like, for instance, Francine, you go to a doctor occasionally, right?
Yeah, I think when they take the time to listen to you
Yeah.
and make you feel like they heard what you said and they don't just dismiss it. You know,
Yeah.
as I mean, I like to know that it's not something serious. I appreciate that, but when they just kind of dismiss it or they're not really, you know, they're just in a rush.
Yeah. Yeah. The 7 minutes required of them to spend with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Paula, you raised your hand, right?
Well, I was just echoing what Francine said, that somebody who listens to you and does not talk down to you. That's a big help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Treats you as an intelligent human being that can, you know, process what they're said. That's a good idea too.
Yeah. Yeah. Marjorie, what do you think is a good doctor? What makes a good doctor to you?
Well, bedside manner, talking to you, spelling things out,
Mhm.
being with you as long as it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else have an opinion on what makes for a good doctor? Yes,
Or
Chisholm.
I just came from my doctor this morning to get a referral to another clinic. And I was a little bit stressed out over the weekend because I wasn't sure because the therapy that I'm going to be going for is some doctors may not consider it conventional or whatever. And it's exactly the way that everyone's described it this morning. I got a chance to say to my doctor why I want to do this. She was extremely empathetic, which I think is the other phrase. If you can be clinically empathetic as a doctor, you're doing real well. And it worked out really, really well. She sent the referral through for me, and I felt heard, I felt valued, and I felt empathized with.
I think that's what a lot of people say makes a good doctor. How about you, Charlie? You've been Charlie. We call him Charlie Four Toes because that's all he's got left. But so you had to go through some real medical stuff with your
14 surgeries. Yep.
14. Well, wait a
Wow.
minute, you don't have that many toes.
Oh no, I had surgery on other body parts. No,
Oh.
it's just not just my toes.
Well, wait a minute. What's left?
Not much.
It's good.
I got my ear here, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
No, a doctor is one that a good doctor is a person that will explain to you exactly what needs to be done and why, and not worry that you're not accepting his authority or whatever.
Well, I think when you walk out of a doctor's office and you don't feel you got all your answers, that's a bad doctor.
Yes, sir.
But when you walk out and you felt you got all the answers you need, and I bring Marjorie with me to these things with my the guy who takes care of my leukemia because I want her to remember some of the stuff that was said so that I can then say to Marjorie, did he say that? Did he say this?
Yeah.
And my doctor, he explains everything. You know, he said, oh, your white blood cell count is up. He says, it has to be 20 times this amount before we give you a pill this size. You know, I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's an answer. I don't sit around wondering about it. You had your hand raised, Andrew, about this, right?
Yeah, I want somebody who can actually cite where the information came from
Mhm.
and have a very small index finger. I always look for small hands.
These small hands, you're like, well, then Trump would be a perfect doctor for you.
Have you seen his hands lately?
Why, they shrink?
They're tiny.
Well, anyway,
While he's falling down the stairs. I don't know if you heard, but it turns out that staircase on Air Force One, the
Mhm.
engineer was a DEI hire. That's why he fell.
I'm surprised he didn't blame it on Biden.
I didn't.
That was a DEI hire.
Yeah. Fine. Wow. No, I mean, it's, doctors who tell you when you walk away from a doctor's office and you feel good, or you may not feel good because he gave you bad stuff,
Yeah.
but you feel that you've been given all the information you need. That's a good doctor, and
Well, my doctor gave me the secret for living forever, and so far it's working great.
yeah, it's working so far.
So far.
Well,
Huh?
I
I want to hear it. I want to hear the secret.
The secret, man. What part of that didn't you get?
Oh.
It's an American thing, Canadian boy. I'll tell you when I'm up in Vancouver in August. I'll tell you.
Oh, that's awesome. What, do you know the date? I'm there 3 times in August.
I'll be in Chilliwack, the 5th to the 7th, I think it is.
Well,
On the
here was the unconcerned part about me. I really didn't ask you, and I'm ashamed of myself for not doing it, Mike. What was wrong with you?
You're talking about me?
Yeah, that you had to go to the doctor,
No, I am. I'm going on a bit of an adventure. I'm doing at the end of the month. I'm doing ketamine therapy.
Oh,
ketamine therapy. What for?
Yeah.
What for?
Pardon me?
Why?
I've gone through a lot this last 6 months. And,
okay.
And ketamine is something where if you do it right, a couple of things can happen. If you're carrying a bag of rocks that you've been carrying for a long time, you can drop those rocks. And the other thing that it does is that it turns on for about 30 days after the therapy, it turns on your neuroplasticity. And the way I figured, I'm 49, I've been carrying a lot of rocks for a long time. So if I go and do this properly, the neuroplasticity for the next 30 or 60 days after I go for the therapy, if I build some really good habits for the next 49 years, I'll have a lot of I'll have dropped a lot of the things that I have dealt with, the traumatic stuff recently with my dad, the dementia, being there when he died.
Wait a minute, you're 50 and you plan to live to more 49 more years?
Oh, that'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I got news for you. It isn't.
I believe technology will fill in those gaps by that point.
I said to my doctor, I said, you tell me that you'll see me in 6 months, that I don't have any symptoms or anything. So am I considered to have leukemia? He says, well, no, you have CLL, which is chronic lymphatic leukemia. And that, he said that you have, so I said, oh, okay. Then I can't call myself just a leukemia patient, I guess. But he was good. He was terrific.
Yes.
And you've met my urologist, haven't you? He's a
Yes.
nice guy, like my urologist.
Dr. Vinny Boom Bots?
What?
Dr. Vinny Boom Bots?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do we know a Serafin Castillo?
He was
Yeah.
on that other time. Yeah.
Yes.
He called
He was
like
the-
2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
really?
rambled
Okay.
on and on about, I can't remember what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the guy wouldn't shut up?
No,
Well,
that was
here
me.
he comes again.
That was
That
me.
was the other guy.
Oh, no, that's not the guy, Marjorie. It's not the same guy.
No, it's
Alex, how much do you tip your
Hello,
urologist?
Seraphin. Well, let's say hello to Seraphin. Hello, Seraphin.
Hello.
Hi, Seraphin.
See everybody.
Where are you calling from again? I know you've called once or twice. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Santa Clara University in Santa Clara, California.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, okay.
Good for you. Okay. Out there in embattled California.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trump wants to arrest Newsom now.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Oh, well, good for him.
And vice versa.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Insane.
Well, I mean, oh God, I don't even want to get into it. It's just, it just never stops. I
Let's
wake
talk
up every,
about the DC Lions who won their game Saturday night.
I wake up every morning and I
Let's
say,
talk about tennis.
I wake up every morning and I go in and Marjorie's watching television. She's watching MSNBC. And my first question is, what did Biden do today?
What if I-
Every time you see Trump, he's saying Biden did something. Get over it. It's your problem now. Weird.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody to blame when you're incompetent.
Well, just pray we don't get into a war or anything, because he wouldn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
But he'll blame Biden.
Hmm? Yeah, blame Biden for the war. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's everything with you, Francine?
Okay, I was watching the Tonys last night.
What'd you think?
Terrible.
Well, I love that Sunset Boulevard one, and I love that
Ugh.
Nicole Scherzinger one, and I'm going to go see it again in July before it closes.
Okay, well, we haven't seen it, and I'm
Yes.
not a big fan of what's his name, Andrew Lloyd Webber, but
It's kind of, yeah.
yeah.
But it was,
The
that's
one
what-
show he did that I really liked was the one that what was Jack Black did it, or I don't know if he did it on Broadway, but he did the movie, and about the kids.
Oh, the rock,
School of
hard rock,
School of
School of Rock.
School of Rock, yeah.
Love
Yeah,
that
and he did a musical version of that, and it was pretty good. It was damn good. He got away from all that soppy crap that he does. But so did you see Sunset Boulevard?
I saw it once, and I'm going to see it again.
Okay, now they've changed it. I mean, Norma Desmond is now a 27-year-old or something, right?
Well, she's Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls. Don't
Mhm.
you wish your boyfriend or your girlfriend was whatever, like me? That name.
Hot.
And
Yes.
yes, right. And it's just it's a different staging. It's a bare stage, and there's a screen that's being projected, and it's just
Yeah, but how do
very
they get
different.
around the fact that she's young and she's not the Norma Desmond type? You
Well,
know?
she's in her late 40s actually.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah,
still,
and they actually wrote the character.
in this version, is she an ex-rock star? Is that what it is?
No. They kept it true to the dates. You know, like because they're talking about Cecil B. DeMille, and
Oh,
so
really?
they keep it true to that. Like they don't. There's not really that much time
Well, what they
difference.
do is in this version, they just basically don't say, "Hey, she's a young woman" or whatever. She just plays it as Norma Desmond.
Right, right.
Wow.
It's just a whole different take on it. It's
Yeah.
really good. I loved it. I never see anything twice like that. I mean, I don't go to Broadway that much. I go
Yeah.
once in a while.
Well, what I thought last night when I watched it, and I watched it because I enjoy watching homosexuals, and there's nothing like the Tonys for extreme homosexuals. I mean, what's with the guy who won for Best Actor playing
Mary Todd Lincoln.
Mary Todd Lincoln,
Yeah.
wearing a dress with hair on his chest? Now, what was that about?
True.
That
That's the comedy.
was just absurd. It was absurd.
That's what the whole thing is about.
Yeah,
that he did.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, I don't know.
It's playing it campy. That's the shtick.
There's between that and he and what's his name? Clooney, George Clooney, were up for the same thing.
Yeah.
Not the same play, the same part.
Same award, yeah.
The leading actor, and he lost to this guy, and I watched him the other night on Good Night and Good Luck, and he wasn't that good.
Really?
No,
I
he
thought he
wasn't
was
that good.
very good.
You thought he was very good, Marjorie?
Yes.
You see, I go back to the movie he made, and I'm trying to remember the actor now who played Murrow.
Streisand.
David Strayhorn.
Strathairn. Yeah.
How you pronounce it? Okay.
Yeah. He did a superb job of doing Murrow. I mean, he was the perfect Murrow. And the film was a perfect kind of film. I really liked that film. I just felt that didn't translate to a stage play.
It's possible.
Because, I mean, how are you going to make it better than the movie if it was meant to be a movie?
Did they have the old TV clips like they did in the movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
The other gripe,
the atmosphere.
the other gripe that I had about it was that most of the speeches he gives are actually things that Murrow said. It's actual speeches Murrow made.
Yes.
And I don't know if you can really go for best script or something like that on that show because it was already pre-written. So I had a lot of questions about that. I really liked the movie, and I can't find my copy of the movie, but I wish I could because it was a damn good film.
It's on Netflix.
No, it's not. The show, the play is on Netflix. The movie isn't. You can't. It's pretty.
The movie. I could have. That's what I watched. Was the movie. The old movie.
The David
Strayhorn. When did you watch it?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Maybe they took it off.
Oh, that could be.
Make way for this thing. Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took a bunch of stuff off June 1st. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm glad I watched it when I watched it.
You're glad you got to it. Don Giller is here, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
Joined by the lovely and attractive Albert Reynoso.
Oh,
What's going on today?
Wow.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Who's, as long as I've known him, except for the graying hair, has not aged an inch. Right, Marjorie?
Yep.
You should see the portrait I have of myself in the
just
other
about
room.
to say that.
It's hideous. Absolutely hideous.
Wow. This is a lot of people here today. Wow. This is incredible.
This is almost all the people on the earth, right?
Yeah.
Or that matter, I guess.
Yeah.
What are you eating there? What are you chomping on? Look, Seraphin, turn your microphone.
I didn't know if you were talking to me or not.
Yeah, I was saying,
my,
what do you?
my wife made a very good beef torta for my lunch today, so I'm just trying to sneak it in between all the stuff I'm doing over here at the university because we got commencement coming up, and
Oh boy!
it's a major time for me to work.
I hope it's no university that Trump is trying to close down.
Luckily, he's leaving the Catholic universities alone. But the president of the university told us a while back ago that if we do lose any federal funding, it amounts to nothing more than $500,000.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to be okay.
Yeah, yeah. What university is it?
Santa Clara University.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
This is where the Catholic elephants go to die in my area. Actually, I'm very honored to be at the same time as Albert. Because after listening to you guys for so many years, I'm really curious about Albert's take, being that he's of Colombian background, to my Mexican background. Is what's his take on the LA situation?
Well, first of all, let me say that it's nice to be appreciated anywhere these days. So thank you. But also, I have nothing to do with Colombia. It's Peruvian background.
Oh, Peruvian. Oh,
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I know the big difference there, and Peruvians make the better food.
I think that the Mexican culture makes much better food with sparse and not expensive ingredients than the Peruvians ever come close to. But there are some good Peruvian dishes. But I give them.
You can't beat Peruvian seafood, though. You can't.
Well, yeah. Well, good ceviche. Forget it, man.
Definitely.
Nobody makes ceviche like Peruvian.
You got it.
So.
Yeah. I told you my pun last week, didn't I, about that? Didn't I? No. I was at a zoo in near Houston, and I walked up to they had these seals on, you know how they have them outside on rocks and stuff with water, so on. And I said, "Oh, look, this the seal was donated by Valentino Rodriguez Romero, and he's from Peru. I guess this would be a seal of a Peru, Val."
Oh no!
Oh. No, I don't remember hearing that.
Oh no!
Yeah, I can.
It's a good pun when everybody groans like that.
Yeah.
What I've been told.
I was just really stoned right before that. Now I'm completely sober.
Yeah.
God.
You know something though, I got to tell you, when it was puns, I love doing puns. I've done them all my life, and almost make people sick and mad about me doing them. But do you know that it's a sign of great intelligence if you're a good punster?
Only a punster would say that.
Right.
Correct.
Thank you, Paula.
How you doing, Mandy? Are you okay?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Trying to unmute myself.
You mute.
Good. How are y'all?
Yeah, I want to find out how you are.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Fine. You been going anywhere lately? Must be.
No, not lately.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, because every now and then I see your picture comes through on, I don't know, one of those things, and you're there with your friend.
Yes. My buddy.
I'd call him a boyfriend, but he's not exactly a boy anymore.
No,
You know.
he's not.
But so it looks like he must be doing something.
Yeah, we're here and there. I think I mentioned last week we were going to Kentucky. We were going to go on a bourbon
Mm.
On a what?
Bourbon run.
tour.
Bourbon tour.
A bourbon tour. Wow. Well,
That's coming up.
that I wouldn't do because I don't drink.
Yeah.
But you know who else here has a best friend, so to speak? Charlie. When he calls me in the nighttime show, he's not in the same place he usually is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? Charlie's starting to blush if we could tell. You know.
Oh, geez.
But anyway, what does your shirt say today?
People who tolerate me on a daily basis, they're the real heroes.
So how's everything in Florida there, Florida guy?
Albert, his name is.
I don't know anything about maybe 2 blocks from where I live, and that's it. That's all I do. I get to the clubhouse, I'm good for the day. I don't turn on the TV. I don't know what's going on in the world. So what's happening in my state? Sorry, I can't.
Nothing.
I can't.
Didn't something happen in Florida recently that was a
Probably.
big deal? I can't remember.
I think DeSantis is still governor, right? So something's got to be happening in Florida.
Yeah. DeSantis is still governor.
See?
Hello. Oh, let's say hello to our good friend Don Giller. Hello, Donald. How are you?
Well, when I saw Seraphim come on, I had to come on. First to Mike, what helped me when I was in, I'm guessing the psychic situation you're in.
Yes.
Acid, lots of acid.
LSD.
Yeah.
All right.
Francine.
We're not quite there yet, but ketamine is a good step towards it, I think.
Well, okay.
Have you done LSD, Don? Although maybe I'm stupid to ask that.
Yeah, you're stupid, Dad. Well, there are a lot of other reasons, but not that one.
Yeah. No. Were you a LSD guy?
Did one time for the worst reasons, peer pressure. Never did it again.
What was for the worst reasons to get
Peer pressure.
Oh, peer pressure. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I did acid for a while, and
I don't think anyone can tell.
this was way back when I was living in Houston.
Uh-oh.
And
I love it.
Do acid to live in Houston.
You loved it, Marjorie?
I love what they just said about you.
Oh, about me? Oh, that's the kind of wife I have. People insult me, and she thinks it's a mitzvah. You know?
I don't know if you know Mark Malkoff. I know Mike does, and maybe other people do. He used to host the Carson podcast, and the word's out. He's written a book, and he's gonna announce its release, I think, this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're talking on the phone, and I told him what I'm doing next week, and I said that these friends are driving me. I'll get to that in a second. And so Mark talks to his wife and said, "Hey, I got news, Christine. Don has friends." Anyway, couple of things. Francine, I really liked your story.
Thank you.
It was short to the point, bizarre as hell, but I just there was an edge to it that I couldn't quite tell what the hell I think I knew what you're talking about, but it was I liked it. It was really nice.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that.
I don't know if anyone. It's called. Can I tell them?
Sure.
It's a one paragraph story called "I Planted a Cat." And there's so many ways that could go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I did too.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I saw all your likes and I was like,
Could you just hold that down, because we have in the other room a guest for this week.
Oh no.
Oh,
yeah.
That thing you use as a pillow?
No,
Princess.
The princess cat. Yeah.
Oh.
Cat sitting this week.
Oh, boy.
So far, we haven't seen her.
Yeah, she did. You had her when I came to visit, and she did.
Oh, she wouldn't come out for you for nothing.
Oh, she wouldn't.
No, that was not in the cards, because she just gotten used to us.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she's in the closet. The first day or so, she likes to get a lot of sleep, and she likes to be in a closet because she's not in danger when she's in a closet.
It's dark and it's warm.
Yeah. So anyway, but we're taking care of our pussy for this week.
The last thing I want to mention, and then I'll shut up for the rest of the half hour, about puns. My dad was also a punster.
Mm-hmm.
And many of them were just god awful, just awful. But he came up with one that I thought hit the spot. He came up with the name of a Chinese health. I'm reading it. A Chinese health food restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
He called it all walk and yo play.
Oh,
Oh.
Good night, everybody.
I'll be here all week. Be sure to tip your waitresses.
Really?
Let me see here. Who there was somebody I wanted to talk to, but I thought I hadn't talked to. Well, we hardly ever talk to Charlotte.
Can I just say that Don, you made up for that little last line there, because I watched 3 hours of your compositions with Conan and Letterman,
Oh,
and,
right.
and
Yeah.
I was riveted, and I could not turn
Right.
it off. And I went way into the night watching them. They're great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. What I think the latest thing I put up, you're going to need a tab of acid.
Well, you know what you've done. In case people don't know, Don Giller
Gotta go.
for the longest time.
Oh, no.
What'd you say?
Gotta go.
No, you know, he for years has been uploading onto YouTube David Letterman programs, and he's a great resource. I think you'd agree with me, wouldn't you, Mike Chisholm?
Well, and it's way more nuanced than that. Like the idea of somebody just putting up every episode would be really cool, but what Don does is he finds either comparables, topics that go the entire run. Like his Charles Grodin one is one of my favorite ones, and it's every single Charles Grodin appearance in order, plus lots of little extras like scenes from Charles Grodin's CNBC show and things like that as well.
Mhm.
Those are the whole thing, and you get to see Letterman age throughout it. The one that Albert's talking about is probably the one I've watched second most, which is the talk show host one.
Oh, it's the best.
It wasn't the talk show host one.
No, it was the topic was just the confusion of when Conan was blown
Okay.
up by Leno's return, and that's
Yes.
all it had to do. And there was 3 hours of clips of him talking, and he got every little thing. Anytime Dave talked about the thing,
Yeah.
Yep.
he just take that clip and all in proper order. It was
That's
just
right.
phenomenal. It's a living document that's better than reading about this
It's
stuff.
worth
watching
And
it.
he has dozens of them on his channel, dozens of living documents like
Oh
that
my God.
that are that well categorized and cataloged. It's so good. Yes.
I need to remind everyone that I live alone.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but really, really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Is this all on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just look up Don Giller. That'll take you to it.
Yeah.
And
Time to block the phone again.
yeah. No, but it really, the thing I loved most was when Letterman would do impressions of
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
of Leno.
Oh, that. Yeah.
And just,
Sorry.
I mean, he did this whole thing about Conan and Leno and how Leno wanted everybody to get along and everything. And I thought Letterman was just perfect. You
No,
know?
I put together an impressions collection of Dave impersonating his guests, Jimmy Stewart, which was awful, dumb people. Yeah. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, and I don't know if you're all aware of it. Sly Stone died today.
Oh, I was going to mention that. Yes.
I just saw that. Yeah.
oh.
Wow.
A San Francisco boy.
Hmm.
Worked at a radio station in San Francisco as a disc jockey originally.
Really?
Yeah. And then he started his little band, you know. And in fact, we used to have a guy who worked with on Gabnet named Jack Bishop. And Jack worked with Sly when he was a disc jockey at, I can't remember what station it was right now. He was at a couple of them. But he was terrific, you know, the guy, and I loved his music. Just loved his music.
There's a great story about him and Peter Wolf from Jay Giles' autobiography that just came out. The two of them together and Sly Stone stealing his equipment in the studio. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an interesting story.
You know, people say, I heard Marjorie mention to me that Sly Stone had died, and I thought to myself, boy, am I surprised. He should have been dead years ago. You know,
You thought he was.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. I knew he wasn't. In fact, there's a very good documentary that is currently on, I think it's HBO Max, but I'm not entirely sure of that, about Sly Stone. It might be on Hulu. I don't know, but it's about Sly Stone and the history of Sly Stone, and it's very good. It's very good. But anyway,
And what is the difference between HBO and Max?
It's the same thing.
well, actually, it's going to disappear. It was HBO.
One has three letters.
HBO Max became It became Max. Okay.
You forgot HBO Go.
No, well, wait a minute. Let me finish. Oh, we can go through HBO, HBO, whatever. Anyway, what happened was they were taken over by Discovery, and Discovery wanted to get rid of the HBO part of it, and they turned it into Max. Well, that's gone so badly that they've got a great idea. Why don't we call this thing HBO Max?
Because you think of Max as Cinemax, which is completely different.
They could call it the new HBO.
You know, Cinemax is still around, and they don't separate it away from HBO. In other words, you have to buy it separately.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway, so Cinemax, a big deal. Yeah, that they're changing back to that. And it's basically going to be HBO based rather than a lot. See, people said, I really do like The Last of Us, and I like the Gilded Age, and I like this and that. But do I really have to have that on the same channel with Dr. Pimple Popper? So they finally learned their lesson. So anyway, there's Mandy is actually looking into the camera. She's probably getting ready to go to your thing, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry.
Don't have to be sorry. We're glad somebody here is working. Let's see here. How many here are working? I think Deutsch is working, I believe. And Seraphin is working. Who else is working? Well, Mandy, of course, has a job. And everybody else, we're just either retired or
retired.
I'm just writing executive orders. Did you hear that he suffered 3 months after his vasectomy? Those plastic cones take a long time to get used.
Oh boy.
All right, I couldn't resist.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, what else is there that we can talk about that doesn't
I
have?
want to ask Len how his trip was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
That was wonderful.
I
Loved all the
highly
pictures.
What's that, Charlie?
So I loved all the pictures. It was wonderful.
He
I
had an
appreciate
omelet.
that.
He had
Thank you.
fries.
I highly recommend the Viking cruise. It was really much better than I even expected. I mean, good food, great people, met a lot of nice, people from all over the world, and you got to see some amazing sights.
And you take
You
a
know-
Viking cruise and it invades England, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, we did that on Tuesday. I've always been on the big ships, and this is my first time on a very, very small ship, and it was, there's not a lot to do in the evenings, and the clientele is 60 to 90 or so, and so a lot of them are in bed by 10 o'clock. So,
Hey, Marjorie, that's what we got to take.
Did you get seasick, or was that an issue?
oh my God, this boat didn't even move. I mean, you couldn't even tell you were moving.
They're somewhere they're described not as ships, but as flat boats, something like
They call them long boats, long ships.
Yeah.
It's only 3 decks. There's cabins on the first floor. The second floor is cabins and the restaurant, and the third floor is cabins, a small reception area, a very little library, and a lounge. The place to have a cocktail at night. So
How was the water skiing?
it was actually very good. Yeah. It's very interesting when you yell "hit it" and the whole boat. The boat's quiet. It was quiet. It was smooth. Yeah. It's perfect for you.
Yeah, we were thinking about taking one of those.
I sent Marjorie an instant message last week. We need to get together and talk about it because you guys really need to do that.
Yeah, Marjorie, you should talk.
You
Yeah.
sent me an instant message?
I did, yeah.
Let's say we wanted to go a month from now. Could we get a cruise at that point?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Do
See,
ships like that have Wi-Fi?
It does. Yep.
yeah, yeah. I check them all
Yeah.
for Wi-Fi.
I didn't I call you from the yeah, I
Yeah,
did the show
yeah.
from the ship that night. Yeah.
But Marjorie has a bad knee, and
That
he
explains.
doesn't know whether she should get it operated on or not.
Well, if it's
Okay.
bad, just show it some discipline.
What?
If it's acting badly, just show it some discipline.
Yeah, show it some discipline. But
I
anyway,
say this. I gotta run. And Sly Stone just passed away. So
I know
Yeah,
we
we
just
just-
mentioned that while you were
just
out
said that.
doing whatever you were doing.
there we go. Well, now I gotta go pick up my
And-
granddaughter.
and-
But I
and
appreciate
you-
you guys, and
and
we'll
you know-
catch up a
yes.
little sooner. Alex, you and I gotta connect soon.
Yes, we got to do something. We got to do some of those things.
Absolutely. Peace and love, kids. Appreciate
Okay.
y'all.
Have a good rest of the
Yeah,
day.
Thank you. You guys too.
Yeah. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, her knee.
knee.
So
knee.
she probably should have a knee operation. I mean, she's in pain a lot.
A
Okay.
knee replacement.
But we want to take
Yeah.
a trip before she does that, because they're telling us it takes forever to get over a knee operation.
It's going to be 6 or 8 months. Yeah.
Ugh.
6 or 8 months.
Yeah.
I might not be alive 6 or 8 months from now.
No, it
And
doesn't.
my
take that
husband's
long.
had both knees replaced, and I don't think it took that long.
How long
Oh,
ago?
At the same time?
The last one was about a year ago. Year and
Oh,
a half ago.
really?
hmm
And
Yeah.
how long does
He
it
had his hip
take?
replaced too, but you said that was way easier to recover
They
from
say
the
the
knees.
hip you're up and running the next day.
Yeah.
Is there anything original with him?
The clinic here in town's running a promotion on those: buy 2 get 1 free.
But she's in a great deal of pain. So if we're going to take a trip, we better take it before she has a knee operation.
Yeah, but she's
Viking-
still going to be in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got.
How fun will that be?
Well, but then we won't be able to go for a period of time because she's going to have to be operated on.
But she'll feel
I think
better.
it's worth it. I'm so glad that I had my knee replaced.
Well, how long did yours take to how long was the
Well,
rate?
to be completely okay, it's maybe 8-9 months, but the surgery itself and then getting over it takes a few months. But then after that you're ambulatory. You just you just have to be careful.
You do physical therapy.
But yeah,
Yeah, you had to do that. Yeah.
yeah. But I am so glad that I did it.
How old were you at that point?
This is like
6 months ago,
maybe
wasn't
2-3 years ago.
So 43, 44?
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
We heard you heard it at a rave. Is that true?
On the Viking
Both,
cruise,
knees replaced by the VA, about a month and a half apart from each other. It took about 6 months to recover, but what hasn't recovered is your balance. It does a real number on your balance.
Wow.
really?
So if you don't have to have the knee operation before you go on the trip, not a bad idea. It might limit your walking, but at least you won't fall overboard.
And maybe get a brace or something to help support some of the weight.
Well, she has what do? You have a knee, what is it? A sock kind of that goes over. What is the thing called, Marjorie?
It's called this. It's this.
It's called this. There it is. There's
Compression thing.
Yeah, compression sock.
Now is that the best thing for her? Do you know?
Well, it does help.
What did you do
What
when
is-
your knee was bothering you? Same thing. Same thing. Paula.
Actually, I was visiting you when during the time that there was one summer where I was kind of hobbling around, but I came to New York anyway.
Yeah.
I wasn't in that much pain, but I was kind of hobbling around. And that was before the knee operation.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just give her piggyback rides, Alex.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, when did this place get pornographic?
About 5 minutes ago.
My wife highly recommends Voltron and CBD for knee pain.
CBD. Have you ever tried CBD, Marjorie? That's the marijuana thing.
Oh,
Yeah, every afternoon.
Did you hear me? I asked you a question. Did you hear me?
The joints
Have you tried CBD? Like
in
it's
a
Oil?
joint,
it's an oil. It's
an
made
oil?
it's made from pot and so on.
No, I've never tried it.
If you well, we should get some, just rub that on your knee and see if it helps.
See if it makes me high.
Well, there's a
No,
brand.
it's from hemp,
There's a
not from
brand
weed.
called Papa and Barkley. Papa and Barkley brand is really good. It's got a higher THC than others, and it goes on like Vicks. It's a salve.
But now you can walk down the street in California and get it. But we here in New York, while we are legalized with marijuana, they haven't done a very good job of it.
Every dispensary should have one, though. I'm sure you'll find a dispensary. It's a major brand.
We should find a dispensary, Marjorie, and or we could even ask our friends who have dispensaries over in New Jersey if they can bring you back some CBD oil.
Yeah, how much do you need?
Don had some
Well, how
growing
much
in there.
can you roll into a joint? No,
A joint for your joint?
oh, is that CBD?
No.
Oh, oh boy, I don't know about you, Geller. Geller.
And as far as going on the cruise, you guys will be okay because they have two different levels usually. There's an included shore excursion at every port, and one of them is a less physical one. They'll take you to some of the same places, but much less walking, that kind of stuff.
Is there
So,
one where they carry you?
get a damn wheelchair. I mean, if you really need it that
I'm
bad,
not
get
getting a wheelchair. That's giving up too much.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I'm using a cane. Isn't that enough?
Skis or a wagon.
Well, I'm worried about her. I don't know you, whatever. But I'm worried about her.
Well, if you have a chance, there's a great video I have up online about our trip to Europe.
Yeah.
It's called,
Italy.
well, it's not called Italy, but it's called something Lourdes. What do they call it? Trip to Lourdes. And it's all about her and how we start off and her leg is bothering her. And by the end of the trip, she's being lifted into a plane by an elevator.
Yeah.
It just got worse and worse. And I got her hobbling on crutches down hallways. And it's really quite an adventure, to be honest with you.
Let me ask you this, first of all. It seems to me that this is really an argument over Marjorie's health versus your day planner. What's the problem?
Well, you got a good point there.
Have her get the health care she needs.
No, but she
not even a discussion.
But she wants to go on a vacation, and if it does the knee, and it takes a year to get better, and maybe by that time I can't walk at all.
Well, then you deal with that.
Yeah, your problem, not hers.
You just said how much pain she was in when she went on the last thing. Why would you even think to put her?
What happened with that last thing, Marjorie?
I had spine surgery after. I had spine surgery.
And it was spine surgery you needed in that case? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed that Marjorie wasn't a member of the club, or Our Lady of Lourdes could have pulled a miracle.
Is that right?
Yeah, but I mean, it was quite an adventure. I mean, it just got worse and worse. It was nothing in the beginning, and then it just got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it was. When did we take that, Marjorie?
A while ago.
A long time ago. Was I still working at Sirius XM? Yeah, I guess so, or Sirius, or whatever it was.
Not when you last went to Italy, no.
No.
Not by a long shot, no.
No.
Really about a few years ago.
Yeah.
No, because it was before I had spine surgery.
Yeah. And that's the one where I didn't pick her up from the hospital.
That's
Oh,
right.
geez. Oh,
Now,
no.
Marjorie, how much were you in pain before you had your spine surgery?
Well, I had to buy crutches while I was over there because it was hard to walk.
But all right, but you had the pain before you went there.
It got worse as the trip went on.
Okay.
And then we took her to a doctor over there, and he prescribed the crutches, basically. Just said, to use the crutches.
The crutches helped.
Well, neither of you speak Italian.
But they didn't help that much because by the time we were through, you were in a wheelchair and you had to be hauled on that elevator up to the airplane. I mean, it got worse and worse. When we started out, you were just fine.
I don't know.
So. But
All
and-
these small boat trips,
Mhm.
you usually you don't have to do a lot of moving.
No, you really don't.
Yeah. It's
I mean, you
really
can stay on the ship, you know, you can just hang there,
Absolutely.
right?
Well, even that, you get
Oh.
off, okay, and they put you on a bus and take you to
Yep.
see a certain thing that you might want to look, and then you get to go back and stop to have lunch somewhere. It's
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to walk around in the Louvre
very
or Versailles,
manageable for you.
Well, I don't know how much I could walk around now. And well, I did walk around the Musée d'Orsay with
Yeah,
crutches. Yeah.
last November.
Versailles is huge. You know, I was exhausted. You know, I mean, but don't. So you only go, for an hour. You walk around a little bit, and you get back on the damn bus and go back to the boat.
I can't remember if I ever went to Versailles. I think I did, but we only stayed for about 10 minutes or something.
World War II?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Boy, standing on the beach at Normandy, that was a powerful day. I'll tell
No,
you.
I was there to pick up Marie Antoinette and take her into town.
Cake.
Hmm?
For cake.
For cake. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let him eat it.
Oh boy.
We're in a plan to go on one of these trips. We're
Should
organized.
absolutely.
They had
I think
a Sunday, they did a thing on CBS Sunday Morning, which if you can find it is kind of interesting, on Shakespeare. And at the end, they listed all the phrases we use every day that are from Shakespeare.
What's up, man? That's
Yeah,
it.
but I mean, it was like there were like 20 or 30 of them.
That's one of them.
That's one of them.
For shizzle.
Yeah.
Arm trucking trout. That's his.
Oh,
I always wonder about phrases like that. Like I got to go see a man about a horse. Means you have to go to the bathroom. I mean,
Yeah,
where does
that's
that come from?
That's Macbeth, I think.
Yeah.
It might be.
I got to see a man about a horse, my kingdom for a horse.
Richard the Third. Richard the Third.
There you go.
Third. Yeah. Yeah. So how close are you to where you're going, Mandy? Oh, wait, I shouldn't do that. She has to turn her.
She's going to crash because she has to unmute. Oh, poor thing.
How?
There
Okay.
she-
Okay. Am I there?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. When I first get on the highway, I'm in a lot of heavy traffic. Sorry, I have to pay attention. But I'm literally passing the space right now where I got hit in November.
Oh, wow.
If I get past this, I'm over my trauma. No, I have to go it'll be about another 10 minutes. Yeah. It's not terrible.
You know, I haven't, as I say, I haven't driven, God, 20 years maybe.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I remember the last thing about my friend Shecky that he was making a big deal about. He said, I don't drive that much anymore. And I said, why? He said, because all the people who are driving out there are crazy.
They
They
are.
are.
They literally
Has
are.
it gotten that bad?
It's gotten so bad.
I think so.
So
I think a lot of it is cell phones. I think a lot of people are on their phones. I mean, like in Georgia, we have a hands-free law. The reason why I have it down in my cup holders, I need another, thing to put my phone in. I got to do that like this week. But I try not to even talk on my phone, especially like anything with visual. But it's because I always joke, I say people are literally doing their taxes, at a stoplight. Or there's like 100 yards between each car when you're in traffic. And it's because people want to give themselves space because they want to be able to look down at their phones and stuff. And it just causes so much traffic, I think.
You know, it was funny. There used to be a joke in San Francisco, and I think people from California here, of which there was only, guess one? Yeah.
Two, 3.
2, 3. Oh, yes.
Three.
Yeah, right. 2, 3. Anyway, there was always a joke about the Chinese are terrible drivers. You remember that one? The Chinese are terrible drivers. So I come to New York and they say all the terrible drivers are from New Jersey. Okay. So now I have, I don't know, something like Lori with me in the car. I came out from California, and we're driving down the street, and I go, in California, all the drivers in California, we say the Chinese drivers are terrible drivers. I said, but here, when you see a bad driver, you say, are they from New Jersey? And immediately there's a car in front of us that's doing something very erratic. And I say, look and see the license plate says New Jersey. And then we took the car and kind of passed that car, and the person driving it was Chinese.
Chinese.
I said, well, I'm right in both cases, right?
Charlene wants to talk.
Yes.
I was just gonna say my son's partner is Chinese, and he even says there's somebody driving weird. He always says, "Oh, it must be somebody Chinese," and he's Chinese.
Somebody explained it to me once that it has a lot to do with the way people drive in China. It's that there are certain defensive procedures they have, and it's just different. Okay, that's where
I've never.
Yeah,
seen
I'm sure
bad
it wasn't
drivers in
racist at all.
No.
That's silly. In China, they drive just fine.
Actually, Alex, your nightmare has ultimately come true here in the Bay Area. You used to warn about Volvos with KQED stickers and Volvos with NPR stickers and the Chinese drivers as well. Now it's Chinese drivers in a Tesla. You got to watch out for them. They're the worst.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a big thing, at least here in Atlanta, where it seems like every third car you see says, student driver, please be patient. Like, and you pass them and they're like 50 years old. You're like, you're really a student driver? Like, really? They just go, oh, if I put the sticker on my car, I'd be like, oh, okay, we'll just let you go 40 and a 70, we'll excuse you.
Yeah.
All the Teslas out here have stickers on them that say, I bought this before Elon went batshit crazy.
Well, a lot of California, you drive down the street, I hear every other car is a Tesla. I mean, there's a lot.
Yep.
The practice test
There's a
I
lot
took
here.
Alex, the practice test I took when I was studying for my driver's license, it came in a big bin of fortune cookies, and you broke them open to get the answers.
Anyway,
47 years was the last time I drove.
When?
How many?
47 years.
Really?
What?
Well, but that's a true New Yorker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I U-hauled cross country from San Francisco to New York, and
Wow.
actually, that's not. That was 78. A year later, I returned a rented van, so I get 46 years.
But I mean, you never like rented a car or anything anywhere?
No, my California driver's license expired in 81, and I never got it renewed.
I think when's the last time I drove, Marjorie? When we drove up to Vermont.
Well, we drove in Italy.
No, but Vermont.
France.
But Vermont, though, what I'm thinking of. I drove us up to Vermont, and that was the last time I think we ever rented a car. I think that was the last time. Yeah. So I haven't driven in at least 5-6 years, maybe more, 7, 8.
That's nothing, grasshopper.
Well, I know, but do you feel as I do, though, that if he had got into a car, you wouldn't be able to drive it?
I wouldn't know what to do.
See, that's the point.
I mean, not just the driving, but all that crap in front of me.
I mean,
the other drivers?
No,
that too. No, I mean all the digital readouts and how much you weigh and you're taking your eye drops. It's just.
I think I could probably get used to that, but I just don't know if like, for instance, I feel like I don't know. I just don't have all my wits about me.
You could totally drive, but your
wits about you.
What are you laughing about, Mandy?
I don't know if I'd have my wits about. That just struck me funny. I was thinking you were going to say like reflexes or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, when did you last have your wits about you?
that would have been mean.
Yeah.
Francine wits right there.
There's one there you go.
Right.
We always have our wits about us.
I'll take my up and I'll take my wits with me. Yes.
That's right. Hey, Alex.
When was the last time Francine drove? Do you
I
drive?
haven't driven like in around 40 years.
Wow.
We're
Yeah.
New York, but we're New
40.
Yorkers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're
That's
soulmates.
crazy.
You know what I'm talking about, Albert. I mean, you drove because you lived out in Queens.
Right.
If I lived out in Queens, I'd own a car. Okay. But I don't. And I'm not going to own a car in Manhattan because
way.
number
No.
one, the cost of the car,
No
then
way.
the cost of the insurance, and then the cost of
Parking.
parking it.
Parking it, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I
how
mean,
much
my,
am I going? How
my
much?
daughter sold hers.
What?
Mm.
My
You-
daughter sold her car, so
Mm.
she doesn't have.
Oh, yeah, because she's living in California, in New York. Yeah, yeah.
In Manhattan, yeah.
And one of these days, she's going to be on some kind of podcast saying, "I haven't driven in 30 years."
That's right.
Exactly. When she came home for Christmas, I asked her, "Do you want to drive?" And she was like, "No." That's okay.
Well, I think anybody in New York, like Francine, would agree that if we did suddenly learn how to drive again or drive again, we wouldn't know where the exit to New York was.
Yeah.
How do you
remember
get
in-
out of
in,
here? The only place we know to get out of here is drive to the airport.
I remember in the summer of '72, my friend, I was at the McGuire Air Force Base. We were performing there, and I drove there. There are three others in the car, and they were all drunk out of their minds, and I didn't drink anything, so I was a designated driver, which was fine. And so I drove the highway from New Jersey to Manhattan. But as soon as we crossed, I think, the Lincoln Tunnel, I said, "Someone else take over." You know, I can't deal with Manhattan.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think if I could like start the car somewhere outside of Manhattan and drive it, I'd be okay.
Mm.
You know, but
We did take a trip to Manhattan when my kids were young. We drove from Georgia to New York.
Mhm.
And so we had our car in Manhattan, and I think it was pretty stressful. I do remember that it was.
It's they always used to say the best drivers in the country are in New York because you have to be.
And they're punsters.
Punsters as well. But Francine knows what I'm talking about. So do you think you would know how to drive a car now, Francine, after all that?
No, but
I wouldn't either.
because of like what Don says, it's like the panel, the dashboard would be like what, like I'm sure all of that has changed since I last drove a car.
Well,
So
how would you start a new car? Do you know?
Mm.
I guess there's a button or
You
something.
push a button.
Yeah, button.
Whistle? Don't you whistle?
I'm sorry. There's something about me that used to love taking the key and putting it in the lock in the steering wheel and starting the car.
Yeah.
My car doesn't even have a button.
Assuming you can find the key.
Yours doesn't have a button?
It
Nope.
doesn't have a button. What is it?
You get in the car and tap the brake pedal and it turns the car on.
Wow.
What?
There's no button.
You still have to have a fob though, right? That you have to have
In
a
my
fob.
pocket, yeah. In
Yeah,
my
in your
pocket. I
pocket.
walk up to the
electric-
car and the door is open. So
Yeah.
you grab the handle and it opens and you sit in the
Yeah.
car, the brake pedal.
Yeah.
Now, did
I
you have
like
to figure
that.
that out yourself, or did someone tell you you gotta press you hit the brake button twice?
It was when I went to test drive it, the guy said, touch the brake, there's no button. It was pretty complicated instructions. Yeah, it was hard to learn.
But tell me this: when you started it that way, did it seem strange to you that was the way to start? What
I
kind
would say novel.
kind of car is it? What brand?
But the other is I think I bought it in December and I think I've touched the brake pedal to actually stop the car maybe 8 times.
Or he's a traveler, not a driver.
Because it has one pedal driving.
It has,
That would be
So-
crazy.
the electronic braking.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of car is it?
It's a EV, an Equinox EV.
Oh,
from Chevy.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's going
That's
in the
another
shop
thing. I don't
Monday
know
though to
models
get
or
Listen,
the
I
whole
just
out of the
looked-
front of it that I hit the turkey with.
I just looked and we've run out of time. We haven't even
I
seen
gotta-
Albert's cat. That hasn't shown up, has he? Or is the cat back there and we
I
just
gotta-
can't see
I
him?
gotta go.
No, she's hiding.
Yeah.
I gotta go too.
Okay, everybody.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
People.
Hey, I want to thank Marjorie and I want to thank Scott. You haven't said a
Jamie.
word today.
Yes.
Me and Edward. I was
That's
testing him.
right.
Thank
Well,
you.
now you ruined it.
Just saying, man.
I'm losing everybody before I can say goodbye to them. Charlene, thank you so much. Francine, wonderful having you here.
I'm good.
Matthew O'Brien, the
See how you
best.
are.
Len, we love
How
you.
you were. How's your shoulder?
Charlie Wallace, terrific.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Stein, wonderful. Seraphin, call more often, will you?
Yes, sir.
Don Gillard, thank you.
Albert,
Sucks then.
if you really want to go nuts, go watch the Letterman Faces Project Part 2.
Letterman Faces Project.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. It's so sweet.
Can I watch part one? Would it
Yeah,
ruin
you
it?
can watch Part 1.
The
Part
fact,
There is no
one's
part
only,
one.
the fact that this
Part
man
1's only
was
13
able-
minutes. Part 2 is 30.
The fact that this
30.
man was able to do it shows he has no life.
Yeah.
Wrong. He's
Albert, good
providing me
having
with a
you
life.
here. And we lost
Paula.
Paula.
Mm.
Who else did we lose? Anybody else? Nah. we can-
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody have a nice week, and let's sign it off with the the wonderful being that is Edward Berger, who signs us off as he does each and every week at this time by saying,
That's all, folks.
bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice week. See you next
All
week.
right, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.